Koreans don't just live in Korea. And even Korean Americans may feel a connection to their roots. The entire diaspora is after this guy. This is a video from Korea Now. Prepare yourself. This is, in my opinion, so good.
Don't come back to America, Mr. Somali.
Somali.
I need to hear it again.
Don't come back to America, Mr. Somali.
Somali.
That'd be such a good character voice in a video game. A guy behind a gate you can't get through.
Just know, wherever you go, if there are Korean people, you're gonna watch your back. We're not to be with. You
Bro.
Us in LA, we go on the roofs and literally snipe you, mother.
The roof Koreans have been turned against Johnny Somali. It's over. It's over. Johnny Somali, if he returns to the US, cannot go within 10 miles of a building that has 2 stories or more.
YouTube personality Johnny Somali, who's been making headlines
I wouldn't describe him as a personality, okay?
ever since making a nuisance of himself in South Korea, seems to have a new target on his back. Not by angry Koreans, but by Korean Americans who even
They are also angry Korean Americans, though.
claim to have gang affiliations. For those out of the loop, the streamer was recently indicted by South Korean authorities for his offensive commotions.
Like, I understand and I enjoy mischief. I've engaged in mischief. I think the rule of thumb is you have to be the butt of the joke in the eyes of the people around you ultimately, sort of thing. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. You can't go around making random strangers in public into the butt of jokes and bothering them.
A video that's now circulating online, a Korean-American man sent out a threatening message to Somali, warning him to refrain from returning to the United States.
But you just pissed off a lot of the wrong people. Don't come back
We're hard to miss. You'll know us because we all look the same.
to America, Mr. Somali. As the price that you need to pay for playing stupid games.
Earlier last week,
After I play Among Us for too long, and the Twitch chatter gets mad.
Somali talked with American streamer Caldo during a live stream where he shared his plan to return home.
I think my next destination you asked is America, bro, because I'm tired of dealing with these foreign governments and these foreign laws.
Yeah, man.
Like, if I stream in America, I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, man. Come back to America and be a piece of shit, brother. Like pigs together in mud, brother.
Keep it strong, bro. I'm not gonna
You know what Johnny Somali needs? Access to weapons!
give up. I'm not gonna quit. I don't think I'll go to jail. I think if I don't go to jail, it's gonna be a big win, and then I can laugh on all these.
That's that 140 and above IQ. If I don't go to jail, it will be a big win. You can't argue with it, can you? You can't argue with it, given what he's done over there.
These creators on Rumble.
It's not known yet how the Korean authorities will deal with Somali's case, and while he seems confident he'll avoid doing any jail time,
We need a detonating passport.
he should be less sure about being welcomed back in America, as many Americans, both of Korean descent
How do I describe it? And I don't mean this in a racist way. It's not because of his ethnicity. It's his specific facial structure. It's sort of demonic. I don't know how to describe it. I look into his eyes and I see a predatory animal.
and
It's the teeth and the way his lips peel back over the teeth. I think in part, and the dead eyes.
regular people have expressed their embarrassment as well as anger towards the YouTuber who's been making an American look pretty bad in places like Israel, Japan, and Thailand. Comments
No! Our greatest friend thinks less of us.
on YouTube videos about Somali's antics in Korea from fellow Americans state they don't wish to see him back. One commented, "American here, we don't claim this person. Keep him in custody for as long as you like." While another wrote,
All right.
"US Marine here, America doesn't want his ass back." With even fellow Americans
You can keep him. That is sort of solidarity. That's like we also hate him, but it's a smooth diplomatic way of saying he's your problem now.
turning their back on Somali, what his plans are for the future are generating attention, especially since he's not even well received in the US. Will Somali make it back to America and be safe there? Let us know in the comments down below.
Qualified to.
Let us know. Let us know if Johnny Somali will be safe when he's back in America. This is a honeypot. Do not answer that. This is a honeypot. Are you going to kill Johnny Somali? Let us know in the comments below. Though to be fair, it is a Korean news YouTube, so perhaps they will fund and arm you. There is a YouTuber I found who I thought it might be worth looking at up until he gets to covering this video, who gives a QRD, a quick rundown of the Somali problem. Damn, did I just get ad boned? The thumbnail is pretty good. This is a 1.67 million sub YouTuber. Is this their style? Like, cut off. I was gonna say black outlined white. It is in fact yellow. These are effective, by the way, just so you know.
This IRL streamer is now in more hot water after a clip resurfaced of him going in.
He looks like a grandma. Who does he look like? Am I out of my mind, or does he look like trans Halle Berry? Like if Halle Berry became a man. Am I crazy? I don't do too well with faces.
This IRL streamer is now in more hot water after a clip resurfaced of him going into a subway and broadcasting an announcement that he had a bomb over and over again on a loudspeaker.
Not wise. Not wise, not good. This is why, if you're gonna IRL stream with a speaker and let people do text-to-speech, you need a kill button. You need a kill button to stop it instantly.
Oh boy, well, it's safe to say things are getting way worse for the streamer in Korea, who could be facing up to several decades in prison, as his antics in Korea just continue to
Could be facing, though. Could be facing.
be shown to the public, and he's also making things infinitely worse for himself by continuing to disrespect the country and just laugh at the entire situation. It's safe to say the dude is about to find out, because as I've stated in my previous videos on him, he is his own worst enemy, as he live streams himself committing dozens of crimes for content. So all the victims have to do.
That's his gimmick. To be fair, to be balanced, he is at least in some way talented, because how the hell is this man walking free? How? How is this man walking, as in without broken legs?
Is recognize themselves and file charges with the footage that he filmed. And all the prosecutors have to do is count the felonies and bring them to a judge. But for some reason, he thinks he's about to get out of this. I guess he's just assuming the same thing that happened in
Yeah, I feel like there is a particular reason. Past experience.
Japan is going to happen now. And for those of you guys who don't know, this guy, he's essentially the most hated IRL streamer because his whole content style is harassing random people in public, and I guess just seeing how much he can get away with. Then when he's confronted, he puts on this act like, oh, I did nothing wrong, and he has no idea why people are calling the police on him. He did.
There is a kind of muffin I don't think I can say on Twitch that describes his behavior perfectly.
This in Japan for a long period of time, but ended up getting arrested and spent roughly 3 months in jail for this. And at the end of the day, they let him go, as he apologized and lied in court. But later on, he deleted that apology.
Johnny Somali commits seppuku. Highest view numbers on a stream of all time. That's his play. That's his plan.
Took it all back, and then bragged about lying in court. Then I guess he went to
Look at that face.
Deleted that apology, took it all back, and then bragged about.
Look at that face. I hate it. I hate it so much. I would hate him even if I didn't know who he was. Right. Let me go somewhere. You see this? Anyone recognize it? Epic Gamers. Do you remember this? With the right angle, and if he just opened his mouth a bit more, right?
Lying in court. Then I guess he went to Israel, continued the same style of content, was detained by the police and beat up by civilians multiple times before fleeing the country with an emergency passport, as his main American passport was allegedly taken away from him. This is an important detail now, as since he's gone to Korea and continued the same antics, but way worse. And that led him to being travel banned, but that hasn't stopped him from continuing to taunt the public and flex that he has this emergency passport, even though he can't go anywhere with it. As the Korean government, they've taken away his main passport and he's been banned from leaving the country, which leaves us with another very popular question. Why is he not arrested? Well, he's been
if you have an answer, that's great. I would like to know this. I appreciate you, Atozy, if you can tell me.
booked and released until trial and travel banned until the verdict. Now, apparently the reasons they're doing it
seems believable. The travel ban would make a lot of sense. You don't need to travel ban someone who's behind bars. But I presume fully understanding it would involve understanding the South Korean justice system. And I don't care to do that.
this way is because they don't want to house him. Like, they've removed his passport, so he isn't really a flight risk. Essentially, they want to put the burden on him to provide for himself, because now he's forced to pay for himself to stay there until the trial is finished, alongside of paying.
He's not trapped in Korea with you you are trapped in Korea with him.
To defend himself. This will likely cost him way more than he earned during his entire trip to Korea to begin with. Then on top of that, more platforms have now banned him. So he doesn't really have that many options left. As of now, he has like Rumble, TikTok, and Instagram. And all of this is happening after he previously...
I know Rumble is touted as being pretty laissez-faire. Instagram and TikTok, how much can he pull off there before he gets nuked?
Took a 4-month break. And as he even admits...
Johnny Somali in the DMZ! Johnny Somali DMZ livestream.
He can't afford to not stream.
I'm trying to do more daytime streams. I'm trying to be more consistent, guys. I want to stream at least 5-6 days a week. Like, I cannot take no breaks. I have to
Do they stop you from running into the demilitarized zone? Or, more pertinent to this situation, do you think they'd stop Johnny Somali from running into the DMZ?
taking a 4-month break. I do not have no time to take any breaks. I hope this trip ends up good. It's been a success so far.
So being banned on...
They would shoot you. When I say stop you, I mean stop you from going there and getting killed. I don't mean would they kill you. Of course they kill you.
Both Kick, Twitch, and YouTube is a massive financial hit for him. But he has nobody to blame but himself. The clip that we just saw, though, is from his 5th day streaming in Korea. And a lot of his new problems come from this day. After he was indicted, people started to go through his past streams in Korea to help the prosecutors build the strongest case possible. And Johnny tried to scrub all the evidence of this, but, you know, since he live streams everything, there's people who just record and repost all of his antics. So
Johnny Somali somehow gets into the DMZ and a giant wall goes up behind him.
First incident that we're going to look at is him in the subway, as
and drones are released.
You know from the intro. First, he couldn't figure out how to buy a ticket, so he then films and...
Imagine being a North Korean border guard, limited life experience of nothing but propaganda, and you see Johnny Somali trying to sneak at you.
And pressures a kid to do it for him.
Okay, I'm putting the money in. I cannot figure this out for the life of me, bro. Hey, look, can you not do this? Can you put this in there for me? Look.
Come on, dude.
Put it on the side. Put it in there. Yes. Get to work.
Dude.
If you know how to translate this, can you help me? Put it inside. My 5,001, put it in my card. Yes. Put it inside. I don't read Korean.
Why is that his problem? Like, why are you putting this onto a kid?
Yeah, it's not. You're just bothering someone.
I don't want to traumatize.
I just cringed. Flip phone.
I'll do it myself.
Like, what are you doing? That kid did not consent to being bullied into helping you for your own content. Nobody wants to see their kid being talked to like that, especially when the kid is just trying to help. But after fumbling with the machine for about 5 minutes, he makes his way to the subway where he starts to, you know, do his usual, harass people for content. And here you have these back-to-back text-to-speech donations with some of the most disrespectful stuff you can imagine. Bomb threats, praising North Korea, loud moaning sounds, and all of this on public transportation when
Etozi has been banned from r/Pyongyang.
Clearly there's kids around. So how does he respond to essentially allowing himself to be this like harassment proxy for his toxic audience? Well,
harassment proxy. It's a colorful description.
He dances around and has fun with it. He's shocked that nobody's giving him...
It's like playing a claw machine over the internet, except he's a fucking little what-pear-faced pest.
Any pushback, and then he thanks his audience for supporting him with these disrespectful text-to-speech donations.
How many? You can't see it in my eyes, but how many? Some of this.
We've seen many of these people. For a second, he looked like Mo Farah bad ending.
I don't care.
John Smith, you're saying he's not even blaming Johnny here. I don't think that he's not blaming him. It could come across as mitigating his culpability, but I think he's just laying out that there is a system of reinforcement of the behavior in place.
They're pressing me because I look like them. No, not even one person is pressing me. Maybe because I look like them, I'm blending in. Thank you guys for all the support, guys. I love you guys.
Now, obviously, you can give him the benefit of the doubt and say, he doesn't understand Korean or what they're donating. But it's clear he endorses this, and he'll happily be paid to use as a medium for random people on the internet to harass strangers. Because let's be real, if there was actually any fear of what was being said on his text-to-speech, if he didn't understand it, he would just turn off the speaker.
I don't know what.
Yeah, Twitch censor, I'd say especially when he's talking about when he's specifically talking about the text-to-speech donos, the harassment proxy, yeah, he's given them access to a speaker where they can do it. Yes, you have done a bad thing for engaging in this, but he's the bottleneck. He doesn't need to allow this at all. He can also individually stop them. The buck stops with him.
I don't know what's going on, guys. He's preaching. He said, "Oh, oh my, this is terrorism. This is now terrorism. Now this is terrorism, guys."
So there he's claiming he's committing terrorism. So that's interesting and can also likely be used against him in court. And then to add to that, you have this whole clip which happened where he walked around blasting, "I have a bomb, I have a..."
I forgot to notify of the streamer C. It's fine. It's fine. Ooh, I won't bother notifying at this point. Hang on. Okay.
Bomb on his speaker.
Oh my God.
Why are people ripping into a Tozy? Are they? Where? In this chat? I don't see it. You mean it's happening on the net?
I know, sir. Sorry.
Daigen
sorry.
Puksinitsa.
We got, what?
Daigen
I don't
Puksinitsa.
know. What? Guys, there's kids right here, bro.
Die again, Putineska.
Let's just go. Sorry, brother. Ora Nobunaga. No, Oba Nobunaga.
That is some proper typing performance? Not really. My absolute peak burst ever is like 115 words per minute. I'm not that fast, but I'm competent.
Oh. Oh my God. Everyone's looking at me.
Click cancel.
Well, the cops then show up, so he starts blaming some random...
Oh, audience blaming. He got pause Andy'd though, Stevie J, by me. He went on to make it clear that the harassment proxy comment was about them doing text-to-speech donos. It's inaccurate, and I like it. Colorful.
people for snitching.
Proxy.
You called them? You? I think it was that guy that snitched.
It's Korean me.
After being kicked off of the subway by the police, he then claims he's uncancelable.
Somalis can never get canceled. Never, bro. And honestly, the only way I could be canceled is if I cancel myself. The one thing I got to think about, if I want to piss off Moist Critical, if I want to piss off Atos, if I want to piss off Decoy Boy.
He said the name. He said the name.
And all these that made hundreds of thousands about talking to me on YouTube, the only thing I need to do is keep streaming. That's all I need to do, keep streaming. Like, just keep streaming and get rich and get super rich and just, that's going to piss everybody off. That's how you win over these normies in SJW.
These SJWs. This is 2014's final form. By the way, I'd ask you to notice how slow his chat is.
Like fucking Hasanabi.
This aged so poor.
This is the kind of stuff I'd think would have to be motivated by extreme viewership, extreme financial benefit. He's just a broken dude.
Because he's now been banned on all major streaming platforms since he said this. Then on top of this, he's clearly not worried about the online backlash, because something he should be worried about are the laws of the countries he streams in. Because let's face it, the most likely thing to cancel his streaming career,
Johnny Somali should be a lot of things, but he isn't,
are his own actions that'll likely land him behind bars. And also, speaking of his political comment here, I feel like Johnny has united everyone in the world from all backgrounds and political beliefs,
including Korean Americans.
One thing: we all despise the kind of content he makes, and I think it's a massive net.
Do I? I despise him and his behavior, but I'll look at the videos of it. Thank
Still
you.
subbed.
Arc Fallen 64. A little bit at least, like as shown here. I didn't, not enjoy in some way the videos I watched, even if it was just via anger and catharsis.
Negative to society, because I feel like everyone wants to be able to live in a society without the risk.
Damn. Just put his face on one of those nice little quote rectangles. Everyone wants to live in a society
Of being harassed in public for someone's live stream content. So the more you point and laugh at these fools who do this for internet attention, the better. But alongside of the pointing and
I don't know. If you're pointing and laughing live, that might be a problem. Pointing and laughing at all might be a problem as well if they're just like a deranged narcissist who is driven purely by attention.
Laughing and legal ramifications he's facing, he's also now facing threats from people that are being aired on a national Korean TV station.
Don't come back to America, Mr. Somali.
It's such a good little line. I love it. Anyway, thank you, Atozy. I've taken this from you non-consensually. Oh, he did indeed, Gankapus, seem to have a fixation on large YouTubers talking about him, and Atozy has talked about him.